What's up, everyone? Skyoti Moon here, founder and chief visibility officer at Synthesis Agency, tuning in with you for your daily drop of wisdom, tips, resources, and all things marketing for the DJs, producers, labels, and promoters out there. Now, you'll see I'm in a different space right now. We are tuning in from Cabo down here for a summit event. And honestly, I really felt like, wow, I cannot show up and do this YouTube tonight because it was a long day. Didn't really take good care of myself while I was traveling. So showed up here kind of hangry and not really in the vibe. And earlier this week, we're only 3 episodes in, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to show up day to day. And so can you guess what today's episode is about? It's about consistency. And I think this is a really, really important topic because a lot of people define consistency in many different ways. Some people will define it as showing up every single day, no matter what, to something. And other people, like me, have a slightly different definition of consistency, which is really more about holding ourselves to a standard. And I think this is really important as artists and anyone who is out there marketing themselves, as entrepreneurs, as artists, creatives, whatever it is you're doing, because we have to have a standard for consistency. We have to have a standard for ourselves. And honestly, when I made this shift for myself, that consistency was more about what is the standard that I want to hold for whatever it is that I'm trying to create. That ultimately became more important and of more value to me to stick with that than when I simply was, let's say, oh, I've got to post content 5 days a week or 6 days a week or whatever number comes out of the ether at you that, marketing guru X, Y, and Z told you to do. So my point is to really ask yourself what consistency means to you. Because it's really true. In order to stay on people's radar, in order for them to really see you and hear you, you do have to have an element of consistency. But you got to get in there with yourself and define what is that consistency going to be. And it is going to look different. And from between you and another artist, right? It's going to look different. Your pathways are going to be different. And the other thing that might be different is where you're at season-wise in terms of what you're doing. So for example, I'm just going to use Synthesis as an example because this is the moment that we're in. And, it would be very easy to, yes, continue to stay down at the bar and have a margarita and hang out and, go to bed and that's it. That's the end of the day. It's a lot different to be like, you know what? I know how I'm going to feel the next day when I haven't taken the action that I wanted to take. And that's holding yourself to a standard, and that's holding Synthesis to a standard that we want to be at. So I want you to just kind of take that in. This is going to be a short and sweet one because I do want to get to bed and I do want to be rested and I do want to be consistent. So there's all those things kind of wrapped up into one. And I think the real takeaway here is to think about what consistency really means for you, and how you're going to define that for yourself, and what kind of a standard you want to hold yourself to as you're growing your career. And also looking at that other piece of what is your ultimate goal right now? What are you trying to achieve? There's going to be seasons in your career where it really is about being front and center, out in front of people consistently, showing up, putting your message out. And there's going to be seasons that maybe you're in the studio and it's a deep time of creativity and all of that. And that's okay. And I think that's where we can get very distracted, deterred, and also maybe even feel not so great about ourselves when we're kind of combating these, feelings of consistency and what we kind of hear people tell us all the time of consistency always looks like, Gary Vee 7 days a week, 5 posts a day kind of thing. It's there might be a time when that's really going to work for you. And there might be a time when that actually doesn't serve the highest goal that you're trying to achieve. So takeaway, really look at what does consistency mean for you? What is it that your goals are right now? What are you trying to achieve? And ultimately, the much, much deeper part that isn't related to the number of days or hours that you do something is what is the standard that you have for yourself right now that you are trying to hold yourself to bring your creative vision, to bring your artistry to life. and let that lead you and see where it takes you, because it might be enough to be like, all right, I'm tuning out from the bar right now, y'all, and hanging out and checking in with you because I've got something to do that's really important to forward my career and take the next move. So I hope this little tune in around consistency is helpful. If you have any thoughts, comments, or ideas, or you want me to explore this topic more, feel free to send a comment or a DM to me. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you tomorrow.